today's video, we're going to be talking about the shadow. I am Brooke. I am the owner of Beauty Code Way. At Beauty Code Way, we are a spiritual awakening therapy-based service business. And we help women navigate their way through a spiritual awakening and the journey that is created as you embark upon the ascension process. And so with that being said, one of the biggest parts of the therapy is doing shadow work. Now, for me, the way I walk the way every day, I am a way shower. And what does that mean? That means that I walk the way of the shadow. I am a way shower, and I will show you what it looks like to set out on a specific journey. My life's work is all about shifting and changing the hierarchy to synarchy, which is divine order. And that is through teamwork. Not just teamwork, but who you are as an individual within a team setting. And what that looks like and what we can do for mankind when we begin to work on ourselves, on our shadows, and collectively be holding each other. We can just witness each other going through these ups and downs in this ascension process. And if you do not know, I have what is called Ascension Daily, which is a daily show all about expanding your consciousness. And it's literally about a day in the life of a way shower. And so Beauty Code Way is beauty is in the yuck, really, the ups and downs of life. The code is your specific DNA code. That is your compass. If you don't know your specific DNA, it can be quite challenging to say, this is the shadow, or this is what a shadow is for me. You know your DNA, boom, you got that. You got your compass ready. You're ready to start to open up. You're ready to ascend through this spiritual awakening process with your inner source guide and your very own DNA. It's super fun, but it's very intricate. It's also a lot of quantum work. And in the world of the 3D and the Newton's law, sometimes our mind can get in the way. And that is one thing that I provide as well. And as a way shower, I show you the navigating. I show you the ups and downs of every day. I show you the tools to walk this way, as well as what is on the other side, that beyond that you know. And you know what? That beyond, you know where that's found? That's found right here. What? How could the beyond be found here? Because it is. It's found within your very DNA. And how are we going to get to the beyond? Well, we gotta work through this BS. All of these old stories that have created this human vehicle that you are today, because one of the paradigms of the Beauty Code Way is we are always winning the game we are playing. That's why we have so much emphasis on game playing. And another one is that your biography creates your biology. And this isn't the story you saying out loud. This is the deep hidden story that you don't want anybody to know about. And that is who I see within you. But I also see the you that's always there, that beyond. And so how fun is it to be able to shift and change your biology by shifting and changing your biography, words said and unsaid. So in order for us to do that, what the hell is the shadow? Well, the shadow is the parts of us that we don't want to talk about. The shadow parts of us that we don't want anybody to know about because they're negative and we feel shame and guilt around them. Well, the way of Brooke is the shadow way. I'm also a Scorpio, and it's just always been innate in me to go for the biggest challenge. You're gonna show me a shadow, I'm gonna bring you the light, okay? So I always encourage I love it when women are experiencing their shadow on this end versus stuffing it and holding it in, which therefore then is creating a lot of disease. And you think it looks ugly on this surface? When it comes out, you don't understand what is manifesting within you because you haven't done the shadow work and you haven't gotten the shadow shit out of you. So that's where I encourage just, who cares what a shadow is? Just let's go. Start walking the way. Start walking your way every day. Start tackling your emotions. Start tackling the bullshit stories that we have been told as women for eons, really, about shame and guilt. And it's time to take responsibility for the lifetimes that have created this physical makeup right here, right now. You can shift and change that by shifting and changing your story, but there is a full-on process that you have to go through, and this full-on process can be extremely excruciating on your nervous system. It can look like chaos in this outer world when it's always been chaotic, but you've been able to just be like, everybody needs to maintain, keep up appearances. Life is great. Life is grand. I've never had to grieve a thing in my life. I've never had to have any problems ever. I don't have shadows. I mean, none that need taking care of anyways. Well, you're gonna it's manifesting within you. And so you're gonna experience it either way. And that's where women are creating a life of health for themselves. That work that is being done in the hiding, the holding in, and the denying, repressing, all of that stuff is waging war within you. You are at war against yourself. You are at war against yourself because you think your shadows are negative. You are at war with yourself because you are rageful and you feel bad and you feel shame and you feel guilt. And that's not okay. That is not okay, and that is not what will get you to the fifth dimension, Okay, that's gonna keep you in the third, and then once people get to the fifth dimension, it's go time from there. So that's, if you ever hear me say, that's where the where we're gonna get such a difference in where the lights are and where the dark is. And it's gonna be really hard if you're stuck in that dark, because the lights, they went from 5D to 6D. They're so beyond 3D, they can't even remember you. They can't remember what 3D means or what it is. And for God's sakes, don't ever send me back to 3D land. I am in 3D and I am here on a mission, but I don't want to stay here. No way, no how. So let's get a collective together. Let's start to do your shadow work. Let's work on your inner demons. How can you take control, take initiative to begin to say, all right, I don't know about a spiritual awakening, but I know that I am sick of talking smack to myself about myself. I'm sick of feeling guilty about everything. I'm sick of blaming shame and guilt for everything. I'm sick of being a victim. I'm sick of hating my body. I'm sick of hating or coping with years and years and years and years of emotional stagnation at the least. The repression and all of that. And once you get to that point, you become so freaking numb. And this is when people will turn to sugar, they turn to alcohol, any sort of coping mechanisms, they turn to completely shutting down and going inside and not having any sort of close connections to anybody else, because it just, at this point, is not possible because of the part of your nervous system that you have suppressed. And that part of the nervous system is what is going to take the work, but you have to know about your brain first. And so that's what I teach you too. When you know what your shadow is and that it actually comes from a certain part of your brain and where these beliefs and these thoughts actually came from, and they're not your own, but you do have to own them because it's your time to do this deeper shadow work. So with that being said, I don't know if I answered all of your shadowy questions, but what I can tell you is they come out as a reactive state or they are repressed. And actually, they're both. And so the fastest you know your genetic makeup, you get to, when you come with me, I teach you and train you, okay, this is a specific shadow. This is what it would look like in a repressed state. This is what it would look like in a reactive state. Instead of just thinking that you can tackle this shadow in a reactive state, there's also a repressive state within that shadow as well. And so when we get to recognize and own, oh my God, this is where I'm repressed. Oh my God, this is where I am reactive. And then I feel guilty and shameful because I reacted. Repression is usually all about victimhood, and that both are creating a living hell for you. So if you think shadow work is going to look dark, it is not. It is about finally bringing light to the nastiness that is within you, that you've hidden, that you've denied and repressed for many, many, many lifetimes. And so there is a deep untangling process, and it is intricate. It is very intricate because as we ascend, our bodies go through physical experiences. We transmute on a physical level, and we want that, but we have to be guided specifically based on our very own DNA, our very own genetic makeup. And I use the Hermetics laws, I use Vedic philosophy, I use your specific DNA, I use magical and mythical and mystical experiences to move through those, and I make it fun. I make it fun. I make shadow work so much fun. You could never even imagine life would be this much fun. And then where the teamwork comes in, where the team comes in, where the collective comes in, is because when you start to do that work, you start to not necessarily fit in with all the people around you. But when it comes to shadow work, I teach self-compassion, and self-compassion is extremely intricate. It is deep work that you have to do on your inner child and the mother from within. And I can definitely guide you through that with all of my teachings. But if we could just be compassionate for ourselves, that'd be amazing. It's just not that's not what's in our fractal lines. That's not what is in this specific makeup of these vehicles on this planet right now. But we get to shift and change the story. Therefore, then we get to shift and change our biology and shift and change our DNA. And when it comes down to shadow work, why we want to know what the shadow is, because in the shadow is where we can find our free will. In the shadow is the moment we find the free will. And when we start to know that about us, where we are free willing or free wanting, that's what's going to start to shift your specific DNA. So, time to do some shadow work. Time to join me in my Ascension Daily. The daily show, all about me showing the way. Who knows what I'm going to show up as that day. And a lot of these trainings is like, oh my God, it's just so much easier if AI goes and does it and I can just go do something else. But with that being said, I want you to know my heart. I want you to know that I provide these services for women who want to become more light, who want to create more love, who want to disintegrate the war within themselves. Okay? The war within yourself, if you don't start now, is going to get nasty. Nasty. And with that being said, make sure you put in the comments, make sure you let me know what kind of questions you have, how I can specifically help you with your specific DNA profile. Also have many things coming up, paid and not paid. But ultimately, if you are ready to embark on a spiritual awakening of opening these wounds within you that are creating you to behave in a shadow state, which is a low vibe. Okay? And when we bring light and love and encouragement to the shadow part of us, that is when we can raise the vibration. So, really start to ask yourself, do you want to go do mainstream medical therapies? Maybe. But if you're really truly embarking on a spiritual awakening experience, those things will help you, but they can also hinder you. They can also make things a hell of a lot worse because they don't understand the pains and the struggles and what actually occurs when you open these wounds. You are $1 to them. You are the 60 minutes to them. You are the rules that they have to follow. And you are contributing to the bajillion dollar industry that is really not benefiting humans, even though we're working on mental health. Things are going to get a lot worse. Things are going to get a lot more expensive, and you're just not going to have the opportunity to be able to have this type of healing at your fingertips like it is now, because of the division that is being created. And that's not being created by the lights. Okay? So, just know everything that you do when it comes to your biology is a pure investment into actually generations behind and generations ahead. Also, we do a lot of time work so you can really get that understanding that you are, how you're doing a generational work, how you're working on the past, how you're working on the future, and how you're working in multiple different realms at once. All right, see you in the Ascension Daily. It is 11:44. All the angels. Bye.